reach out to him. He's one of our 100 men walking in our fashion show, and he's been nothing but a breath of fresh air ever since he's come along. So we're going to work on our first introduction to Future Gents. A lot of people don't know what we do, why we're here. Our goal, our mission is to teach and teach our young men the values and importance of becoming a gentleman. Uh, that is a skill that's not normally seen these days. I don't know what happened to it. Our goal is to bring that aspect back. Now, we have 6 basic principles that we base everything on here at Future Gents. Let me introduce myself again. My name is Ernest Moore. I'm the CEO founder of Future Gents. Um, and this is our introduction to Future Gents so that the whole world can now know what it is Future Gents does, what we are and what we're about. So with that said, we base everything on 6 principles. The first principle is style, right? We believe how you dress is how you'll be addressed. I'm going to repeat that again. How you dress is how you'll be addressed. There was a time when we took pride in how we dressed. Those days are gone, but we're bringing those back as well. The second pillar that we base things on here at Future Gents is etiquette. Now, if you believe or you think etiquette is only sipping tea at high noon with the Queen of England, you're sadly mistaken. We want to make sure that whoever you're around, they want to be around you again the next time. Also, you leave a positive impact on them once you're gone. So that's the etiquette part of it. The third part is confidence. I don't know if you notice, most of our young men talk like this. They have no confidence in what they're saying. They have not even heard their voice yet. We teach our young men confidence. Be confident in what you have to say, right, wrong, or indifferent, but be confident. Stand up and be confident in that. And we teach them these skills on an interactive basis, how to become confident. These are skills that we can actually teach them. Another one is effective communication. Wow. Our vocabulary has become so limited with social media that everything is a LOL or a WYD or things of that nature. We don't put periods at the end of sentences. We don't put exclamation points at the end of sentences. We don't use question marks and things of that nature. We don't use commas. We're bringing effective communication back and the importance of having effective communication. That effective communication piece is run by Brian David. We call him, well, Brian David on here, but Brian Walker, uh, also known as the Renaissance Man. So he's the one who's actually doing or heading our effective communication portion. Another pillar that we have is leadership. Uh, these young men were destined to lead. The reason why I posted this um, gender roles, we don't have those anymore. Now, when you're in a relationship and you've already established your gender roles, that's great, fantastic. If the wife wants to work and she makes $100,000 a year and the husband stays home and takes care of the house, that's great. That's great. Oh, that's great. But we're teaching our young men to be leaders. We're teaching them to be leaders. They don't lead because they haven't been taught how to. The sixth and most important skill are leadership skills. I mean, our life skills. I'm sorry, our life skills. Half of these young men don't know how to swing a hammer. They don't know how to use a screwdriver. They can't paint anything. If mom had a flat tire, they wouldn't know where to find the spare, the jack, anything like that. So we want to teach these young men not only putting on bow ties and things of that nature, socks and shoes and all that's the exterior. We also want to equip them with life skills that they can use later on in life. Some of the life skills that we teach are conflict resolution, um, self-control, self-esteem, um, entrepreneurship, um, how to write a check or how to balance checkbooks, things of that nature, so that these are skills that they could take with them long after they left Future Gents. So, with that said, you have a brief idea of what Future Gents is, what we do. We're a 501c3 nonprofit organization here in Georgia. Because of this whole COVID-19 epidemic, we had to make some changes as well, right? We can't actually go out to our locations and have our workshops face to face. But we've turned that lemon into lemonade. Now we are virtual. We're now able to reach young men outside of Atlanta, outside of our area in Atlanta. Now we can reach them anywhere in the world, anywhere in the country. So if you know of any young man who could benefit from those six principles, please forward your information to my inbox, or you can also email me at onemogent@gmail.com. There it is right there. Onemogent@gmail.com. Um, Forward his information, forward your information. Let's get these young men, um, let's get them to be the great men that they're destined to be. That's number one. Number two, if you're a male who would like to take part in what we're doing, listen, you don't have to come clean, no trouble background or anything like that. We want all men from all backgrounds to join this movement, this campaign to save our young men. Everything's not always about a bow tie and a suit and tie. Sometimes we may have to reach them on a level where they are. We're asking if you would like to partner with us, please do so by emailing us at onemogent@gmail.com. So I'm going to turn this over now to questions. If anybody has any questions, I'm actually got my camera here and my Facebook questions over here. So does anybody have any questions? Um, Also, please, before we get into our Q&A, subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's called Future Gents. We're going to show our young men another means of communication. We want to be the change that we seek. We want to be the change that we seek. Can't keep talking about it if we're not going to do something. We can control ourselves, we can't control others. So we're going to control our communications medium, our YouTube page, our newsletter. We're going to get on some radio stations and things of that nature. So I'm going to turn this over to questions right now. So I'm going to look over here at my other screen so that I can see any questions that come up. Hello, Erica, Khalid. That's my little sister, baby girl. Glad to see you here. Sahara Sanka, Queen. Peace and blessings, my queen. My queen, she's my rock. She's supportive. And as a CEO founder, there are many late nights, and there are many times where I'm down in the library or the study that I call it, and I'm not giving her the time that she requires, and I apologize for that. But she realizes, Sahara Sanka, she realizes that we're building. We're building we're not building, we're rebuilding and enhancing our young men. So thank you so much, Sahara, for being on. Uh, Michelle Donato, good evening. She is the Southern Etiquette Queen, I believe is her name. She's doing great things with pageantries out in Texas. If you know any young lady that's interested in pageantry, that is the person to actually reach out to, Michelle Donato. Um, awesome young lady. Her question was, what do you find is your biggest challenge in mentoring young men? That is a great question. This is going to hurt. This is going to hurt. This is going to ruffle some feathers. My biggest problem are the parents. I can't get the parents to bring these young men to the organization. I can't. Um, we used to start at 11 o'clock on Saturdays at Beulah Baptist, and that stopped because a lot of the mothers weren't bringing their sons. Maybe it's me. Maybe they're not interested in the direction that we're taking these young men. But I'm telling you, with those six principles, we also teach teamwork. We also teach discipline. We also teach self control. So when your son is with us, and let's just call him little Johnny for now. Little Johnny is normally running around and hyperactive and he's smacking somebody in the back of their head. He's not doing that with us. We don't have that, and we set the tone immediately. So I think that's one of, not all, but that's one of the problems, Michelle, and it's called her page is Southern Etiquette Society. Southern Etiquette Society. You can find her on Instagram under that Southern Etiquette Society. Um, that's one issue. I've had young men tell me, "I'm not going to recite an anthem. I'm not going to do. I'm not going to repeat what somebody said. I'm not going to follow directions." Well, yeah, you are, because either you're going to follow directions here, or you're going to follow directions in that 6 by 9. But either way, you're going to follow directions. I'd rather you follow our directions here where you're free, as opposed to being in that 6 by 9. So that's another slight problem that we've had. Um, Another problem, I'll say this: a lot of people think I have this magic pill, Michelle, where if I give you a red pill, automatically your son is going to be everything that he's learned over the 10, 12, 14 years. He's going to forget that and all of a sudden become a great young man. That's not going to happen. This takes time. This takes effort. This takes a one of the words that I like to use now, commitment. And if you don't have that commitment, if you don't have, um, if you're not willing to stick this out, then no, it's not going to work. I don't have a magic pill. 9 times out of 10, after your son has finished our program, he's probably not a 100% gentleman. None of us are. We're constantly learning. We're always learning. So with that said, when he's done, he's going to have to come back. He's going to have to come back. There are some more things that we need to discuss. So commitment, commitment, commitment. Um, Let me see if I can get some more questions here. Bear with me just a moment. Greg Thornton, engineer extraordinaire. He's the producer behind all this here. So if you have any questions on how we're able to simultaneously go Facebook Live and YouTube, reach out to Greg Thornton. He's an amazing young man. Um, Hopefully, Stephanie, you can hear me now. Erica, hopefully you can hear me now. Okay, so everybody can hear me. Peace and blessings, Amira Rahman, another queen doing great things. How did all this start? Right, this all started in a fashion show. Um, Back in 2016, when I did 100 Men Walking, we had over 100 male models come out, grace the runway. We were featured on CNN. Um, Vince Sims with CBS 46 came out. We got interviewed by all this. It was bigger than I could have ever imagined. Could have ever imagined. So we all of this came from a fashion show. Um, Now we've blossomed. And one thing I've learned, I'm going to get back to your questions in just a minute, but because I saw a mirror on, one thing I've learned is I can't do this by myself, right? When I started this out, I had my sisters, my family, Erica Colleen, Denise Johnson, Philly Jones. We all did this like in a close knit, and it was great, but I needed more, right? I needed more people. So hence comes Robert Pierce. Here comes Brian David. Here comes Garrett Patterson. Here comes Lamont Sally. We call him Uncle L. Here comes Saga Boss. Here comes Deolanto Clay. The list goes on and on and on and on. We got Travis Williams, a realtor. Um, we got Steve Cook, who's in insurance, a friend of mine from Philly. So we got so many. We had to reach out and get assistance from other like-minded individuals who are willing to follow my lead. And I'm humbled and honored by those names. James Thompson, can't forget ATL Thomas. Um, I am humbled and honored by all those who have given their time, who sat on meetings that were boring with me, and so forth and so on, who donated money, who donated time, who donated their expertise to assist in um, my baby. Uh, but they realized the same thing that I realized. Our young men need help. And we could talk about what the president isn't doing. We could talk about what politicians aren't doing. We could talk about what other races aren't doing. But it all falls down on us. What are we going to do? And thankful for all my model fashion family, starting with Felicia Bynum, um, Cherie Cherie Jackson. Cherie is just so amazing. Another behind the scenes individual. These people have made this possible. They made Future Gents come alive. Calvin Johnson, um, Miss Judy, um, Vital. I can't forget Akella Clore. So there are so many. The names are endless. The names are endless. And if I forgot your name, please charge it to my head, not my heart. uh, Amira Rahman, and she's allowing me to grow in DeKalb County. We got some big things coming in DeKalb County, thanks to Amira Rahman. So just wanted to shout out just a few of the people that are watching, um, that have some questions. Gregory asked, "What's the age for Future Gents?" That's a great question. So we start our young men off, especially since we're doing this virtual, at 10. From 10 to 18, we feel as though that we can grab their attention for 30 minutes to an hour, at beginning at 10. But we also realize that the younger they are, the more they'll learn, right? So what we do is we are now starting mini gents, junior gents, when they're starting at 5 and 6 years old. And we had a young man who was 5 years old when he came to us, um, Kair. At 5, he was running circles around our workshop. So yes, there are some who can get in Future Gents at 10 in our 10 to 18 category that might be younger than 10. But for the most part, in our mini gents, we want to get them started out at 5, 6 years old. Let them matriculate up to 10 years old and so forth and so on. So the age we start off is 10. Just a second here. Yes, we are, as Amir Rahman said, we are the active change. We are the change that we keep asking for. You keep asking for positive men. We're here. One of the questions that we ask every single workshop, how many positive male role models have you seen? A positive male role model doesn't always have to be suited and booted. And this is what we're teaching these young men, that they don't always have to be suited and booted, but what they have to be is approachable, right? If we can't reach out to them, if we can't speak to them, then they're not a positive male role model. When we ask that question, the resounding answer is zero. They don't see any positive male role models. With 100 men walking, we're going to change that narrative. Let me see some more. Yes, Sahara, we do need not only, and here's what I want to explain to everyone. It's not just we do need my organization in this community, but I don't have the only solution. There are others out here that let me say it this way. We're good individually. Yeah, we're good by ourselves, but we would be great if we all came together. We would be great if we all came together. So I challenge those other organizations. Let's sit down at the table. Let's have a conversation. Let's figure out how we can partner together to save some more lives so that we don't have to continually see mothers on Facebook, mothers on CNN, mothers on the news crying because they lost their child, whether it was from someone who looks like us or someone who doesn't look like us. Sharon Bowie, Bright Eyes, she's in an organization called Dolls, Delivered of Life Lessons. If you only knew the struggle that this young lady goes through on a daily basis behind the scenes, yet she gives and she gives tirelessly. I, that's a whole conversation in and of itself. She is an amazing young lady. That organization, Dolls, headed by herself and Cindy Doll Faith. They call each other Doll first. So Cindy is Doll Faith and Sharon Bowie is Doll Bright Eyes. If you're a woman, I implore that you reach out to them to serve. When we talk about being a gentleman, one of the things that is always overlooked is the fact that we serve, we give back. Uh, there are so many people that are so less fortunate than us, and we are blessed. We need to serve, especially now with this pandemic going around right now. Gentlemen need to serve. Reach out to Sharon Bowie, aka I'm gonna call her name right here, Little Baby Bright Eyes. Thanks, Erica. I'm doing the best. And yes, you know, Erica, mommy and daddy did teach us well, right? But a lot of things I've learned, I didn't learn from them, right? And that's why it says it takes a village. It takes uncles, it takes aunts, it takes cousins, it takes our old heads. It takes getting in fights, on the block. It takes the teachers, the counselors. It takes the principals. It takes the football coach, the basketball coach. It takes an entire village to raise just one, just one. Sahara Sink, I'm glad you believe in our vision. And again, I couldn't do this without you. Um, Michelle Donato said, yes, we have to do all we can to avoid the path to prison by mentorship. Having the parents as your partner makes an incredible difference. Absolutely. There are a lot of people that are in gangs, that are in prison, that are lost because they didn't have someone just to spend some time with them. It's just time. Talk to them. Find out what they like, what they don't like. Find out expose them to things that they've never seen before. One of my favorite sayings is, how do you know what a five-star restaurant is like if you've never been to a five-star restaurant? If all you know is McDonald's or Burger King, how would you know what Ruth Chris is like? And I'm just using those as an example. We have to expose our young men to bigger and better things. And yes, it does, Sarah. It does take a village. Amir Rahman, commitment and consistency. Commitment and consistency. Yes. And you know what? As to piggyback off what Ms. Rahman said, we have to be willing to roll our sleeves up and put the work in ourselves. I could have came on this video in a hoodie or with a t-shirt on. I could have took the glasses off, no bow tie, things of that nature. Please believe we can get there. All right, we can roll our sleeves up. We can strap up the Timbs and so forth and so on if we have to. We prefer to do it this way. Denise, I'm glad you like the glasses. So, long story real short, I had some glasses before that, and I don't need glasses. They're really readers. I'm not really reading anything. I don't have a script, but I figured let's put the Malcolm X glasses on since that's my idol, right? But got the glasses. I had some readers before, and they said, "Oh, you look old. You look bad." So what does my queen do? My queen says, "Ernest, you got to get some glasses. You can't continually wear those old man glasses. Nothing wrong with being mature or seasoned, but we want our glasses. We want everything to complement everything, and that's why thank you to Sahara Sanker for advising me to go get these glasses, Denise. So get I can't take full responsibility for that. And yes, Erica, you were the original EMI. Anybody who knows me from 2009 before, well, 2009, it was EMI. It was EMI. We've evolved from EMI to Team EMI to Future Gents to Gentlemen of Distinction. But if you notice one thing, the common denominator on all those organizations that I've started, some that are still here, some that have failed, common denominator is gentlemen. So it looks like my live got interrupted. Okay, I guess we're back now. Okay. Sahara Sanka says, how do you keep young men engaged with so many distractions in societies and from social media? That's a great question. And I made a post today about a rites of passage. And in that rites of passage, what we do in the rites of passage, for a rites of passage to actually work, you have to be taken from your environment. I mean, taken away from your environment, stripped down to almost nothing, and then build you back up again. That's what every rites of passage has done throughout time. Um, how do we do that? Actually, Sahara, we incorporate that. We use those distractions. We take those negatives and turn those into positives. Um, we do that by our new campaign, What Would Future Gents Do? WWFGD. What would Future Gents do? Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Future Gents. I want to hear that ding every single time. So that's how we're able to, we can't get around social media. We have to use that tool um, to better these young men. So, great question. Great question. And I'm trying to go down. Do I collaborate with Sharon R. Bowie asked, do I collaborate with other organizations? And I mentioned that earlier. Absolutely, we do. We'll work with anybody, anytime, as long as it is a positive organization for our young men, and they're included. As long as our young men are included and involved, absolutely, we will work with any organization. Ernest Smith, thank you, my brother. Now that's my stepson out in the motherland. Ernest Smith, we met a long time ago right here. We noticed that we have the same name. And he's called me Godfather ever since. And I've called him my godson ever since. So thank you, godson, for showing up. Um, one day I'm going to swim those 8,000 miles, if you know what I'm talking about. It is the elite dolls of faith. Sharon R. Bowie corrected me again. And it will always be doll Bright Eyes, but I call her little baby Bright Eyes. That's what she's going to be for always. Yes, and we're laying the foundation. That's exactly what we're doing. Michelle Donato says exposure can be eye-opening and mind-altering. Absolutely, it can. And we want to show these young men something outside of the 4 or 5 mile circumference that they see. Back in the day, when you was a playground legend, or you were a great rapper, or you were a great dancer, or you were big, people knew you. One of the things they said is, "Oh yeah, you local." We don't want to be local. We want to be. We want to expand our horizons. We want to go outside of our 4 or 5 mile radius. Show them things they've never seen before. Give them something to reach so they work harder to achieve their goals. Absolutely, Michelle. Absolutely. And I got my main man, Dre Davis, on here from the Loop. Now, Dre and I go back to MySpace. And I'm going to tell you the great things that social media can do. Because a lot of these people that I'm referencing, I met on social media. But Andre Davis, Dirty, we go way back like Apple Jackson spinal cords. We've gone to the Magic Show. Now, Dre does Dre does custom clothing for men. Custom clothing for men. Not off the rack, uh, not made to fit, custom. He will take a piece of material and turn that into a suit like you've never seen before. Um, I can't say enough great things about my man, uh, Dre, aka Dirty. Uh, amazing brother. If you need, if you need a custom suit, don't go to him with $200. But if you want a really good custom suit, go see my man Dre in St. Louis. And if I'm not mistaken, he might be able to work with you virtually. Dre, thank you so much, brother. I'm just doing what he asked me to do. This is my divine destiny. This is what I'm supposed to be doing. So I hope I answered everyone's questions. Again, please reach out to us if you're willing to help. You can email me any more questions at onemogents at gmail.com. We have a great organization here. Let me just shout out some of the people on my board, um, and I'm not going to put this in any order. Uh, Loretta Brooks, she is the glue. If anybody has ever met Loretta Brooks, you know that woman has a heart of gold. She's a cancer survivor. Um, she works tirelessly. I can call Loretta at 12 o'clock midnight and she'll respond. I need this, I need that, and she will get it done. She's our historian. She is our director of programming. She's my administrative assistant. She is the truth. I can't thank Loretta enough. Brian Walker, my mouthpiece. Brian is just an amazing orator. He's my zen. When I get wild and I'm ready to do this, that, and the other, excuse me, Brian is no, no, calm down. No, we're not doing that. I'm like, Brian, but this is true. This is. And he's like, no, relax, breathe. So Brian I have promoted Brian to president of Future Gents. I made Brian president of Future Gents. Give me a second here. I made Brian president of Future Gents because of his tireless work and all that he's done. Um, another person, no matter when I ask him, no matter what I ask, he's right there. Um, amazing guy. He's also the president of Gentlemen of Distinction. And then we just added someone, Daryl Harvey, who's going to now take Brian's place as vice president of Future Gents. Police background, chaplain background. He's coming and he's willing to work. He's willing to serve. So this just happened. So look out for all the great things that we're doing. Um, I would be remiss if I didn't um, end this with a special thank you, shout out. I call him my son. He's much too young to be my son, but Brandon Holman has been with us from the beginning. We had Brandon at 10. He is now 14. He is the complete model of what future gents should be after being in our program 4 years straight. Young man is amazing. I've watched him grow from a little shy kid to a complete future gents leader. He almost made me cry one day because we were speaking at an event, and he said, "When Mr. Ernest is no longer here, I will take over future gents." And he meant that. He meant that. Thank you so much, Miss Martin. Thank you so much, Cherie Jackson, because, and let me talk about social media. Talk about social media. Cherie Jackson is in California. She's in LA. She reached out to Raquel Martin because uh, they are fans of the same football team. She said you need to reach out to Ernest Moore and We weren't even Future Gents at that time. We were just EMI, Erica. At that time, we were just EMI. But you need to reach out to Ernest Moore and get your son involved in his program. And what we have not looked back. So to Sahara's point of social media being a distraction, it can also be a positive. Um, Brandon is an awesome young man. We love Brandon so much. Um, so with that said, I hope and pray everybody is safe. Um, can we can we put out some positive news? Can we put some positive posts out? There's so much negativity going on. There's got to be some positivity going on. Again, this is our introduction to Future Gents. Our goal is to come back here, if not Facebook Live, on our YouTube channel. Please don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Future Gents. We're looking to get 1,000 subscribers. So all of you that are on this live feed right now, reach out to your friends. Let them know about our YouTube channel. Let's show positivity of our young men. Let's give them the tools that they need to be successful. I can be reached at onemogent@gmail.com. You can also go to our website at www.futuregents.org. And I want to say thank you to everyone who came out to watch this live video. I'm not usually a speaker. I'll leave that to Brian. But they thrusted me into this position tonight. And I have to be the change that I seek as well. So, with that said, thank you so much. Hope you all are safe throughout this pandemic. Please make sure you're taking your vitamins. Please make sure you're eating well. Please make sure you're exercising and you're not just laying around doing anything. Please make sure you drink more water. These things can keep us sustained. When people are talking about this pandemic, some of us are used to this. You know what I'm talking about. Some of us are used to this. With that said, thank you again so much. Have a fantastic day and peace and blessings to you.